inside another dimension, face battling barbarians and evil magic on a quest for adventure in a maze of monsters. Once you get into it, you'll never be the same. Hero Quest. Now with 2 new adventure packs, the legend grows.
Hi, welcome back to Not Your Mother's Hobbies. Today we got some stinky, smelly skeletons of the zombie variety. You know, the kind that has rowdy flesh on them. So this is what we're going to be doing for our next Hero Quest mini, is the zombies. They got a Zenithal airbrush prime on them and ready for painting. So let's get to it. Alright, base coat. We're using Agrax Earth Shade this time for the skin coat, because it's going to give them like a paler complexion. You could use like any kind of shades or thin washes for this step, because we really just want like a pale, kind of grody complexion. You could use, if you got Citadel Reichland Flesh Shade, you could use Athonian Camo Shade for like a greeny, putrid kind of guy. It's all up to you. Regardless, we just want something thin so that he can be kind of pale and grody. Alright, one of my favorite colors for pants, because you can make it really easily look like jeans, we got Space Wolf's Gray. Jean material, use it for these pants. Keep an eye out though, he's got a hole in his pants, so in the previous step, make sure you got flesh in there, and in this step, try to avoid getting this pants color in that hole. So just go all around, wishy-washing this stuff all over, getting that nice blue denim look on those pants. He's got this little wrapping on his arm. We're going to do that in a Blood Angel's Red. So just hit that with whatever kind of red you got. Or mix it up. Make it a different color if you want. Either way, he's got this little wrappy bit on his arm. And we're doing it in Blood Angel's Red. Alright, so somehow or another my camera crapped out. But we're using snakebite leather for that wood grain. Coming in with wildwood, this darker kind of ashy brown. It's like a paler kind of brown. I think it looks good for like a cool boot leather. I use it on almost all my boot leathers, unless of course I'm using it on something else and I want to mix it up. Basilicanum gray for our swords. This is our normal sort of metal blocking step. So Basilicanum Gray is going to go on all that metal. We're also going to use this on the hair, so give them sort of stringy, graying hair. Now I do this step a little earlier than I actually did when I came up with the scheme. I totally forgot my order of operations, but that's okay. We can always paint over paint. No big deal. But what we're doing is we're using this Gulliman flesh to make like bruising, like wounding, basically. It's not blood, but it's kind of, you know, when you get badly hit or burned, or, you know, you see it in movies or whatever. You get inflamed. We're doing an inflammation, right, in the areas. So you're just gonna find detail around, make up detail. All right, metal. Put the metal on. First coat of metal. Your dark metal. That's all we're doing. Business as usual. We are going to make this look crusty, don't you worry. But step one is to get a little bit of the metallic flakes on there. Got to start somewhere. Okay, we're doing Agrax Earthshade, not gloss, for our metal, because we want it to look worn. So the Agrax Earthshade, the brown wash, that's going to give it a dirtier look, and having it not be glossy, because, well, we want it to be, you know, dirty, rusty, old, is going to help out too. Okay, so Wraithbone here, he's got a toe poking out of that shoe, and unfortunately on this model, the sculpt, you can't really see it that much. But on all the other ones, or most of them, he's got a big toe poking out of there. So check out yours and keep it consistent. Here he's got some stitches on his pants. I'm actually using a craft paint white, but you can just keep using the Wraithbone. That's why I didn't put the title up. Just keep using what you got. Make it bright. Bright stitches, it'll pop out. Gray Seer. Any kind of off gray, pale gray, you're going to throw on there as our grody highlight for his hair. I guess his highlight for his grody hair. Either way, we're going to put it around here, and it's going to encircle like a crown on top of his head. That's how we're doing that highlight there. And that's going to mimic like a true hair highlight, right? When you're hit from directly above, from sunlight, it's kind of like a halo of highlight around you. So we're doing that on him. We're doing a halo of gray. Okay, back to the Wraithbone. We are highlighting up the skin. This is what I should have done before putting the Guilliman flesh on. But that's okay, it's just going to add more detail. Like I said, just paint over it. Just paint over it. It's no big deal. MBD. Just paint over it. That's what we're going to do. We're just going to paint over it. So just go in there and bring up the detail. You don't have to bring up all the detail, because remember, we want some of them shadows in there. We want to trick you people into believing we did more work than we did. We want to keep some of them shadows in there. So just bring up the flesh as much as you want. Highlight it up. Put them layers on. They'll get real pale. And if you did a different color of skin, like your base wash, and you use the Wraithbone or any other like color, you'll see that it's just gonna slightly tint overall and give you a different look. So that's a real quick tip on how to get easy different skin tones on these zombies. Is just mix up the wash and then come back at it with Wraithbone. They'll all look different. You'll see that actually later when I do the comparison. Don't forget that little hole in his pants. Gotta get in there. Alright, now back with that Guilliman flesh, we're going to clean up. We're going to do that double pass. We're going to go in and we're going to make sure that we got our bruising and our inflammation in there, that we covered all up. So you didn't have to do it before, but you should probably do it now. It looks cool. He's just a zombie. What extra touches could there be? Well, we're going to use that dollar store white to give him some little pings of highlight. I know it's out of focus, but I hope you get the idea. especially if you've seen the 100 subscriber video. I'll link that in the top. It's the same as Trunks. Just pop in those pings. Right, Rise or Rust. You could use any other really bright orange for this. But I'm just using Rise or Rust. It's a dry paint from Citadel. You just coat the gunk on, stab it in, dry brush it all up. We're using it like a dry brush paint. And sometimes we're getting some chunky bits on and we're not wiping it completely. And you stab. Just stab it and you'll get some cool texture. Put some rust on there. Going to do the base. It's our normal base. All the monsters get the same base. Mechanicus standard gray down. And then you know what comes next. Astro Granite or your texture paint. And remember, order operations. If your texture paint has no paint in it, do it first. Coming in here with a dry brush. Our first dry brush, we do 2 dry brush on these bases. We're doing 2, a dose. Here's the first. Second one is going to be coming after this. This is the shade. We're throwing that shade on. Get it on all them details, contrasting it up. Get it pooling where all that texture we put in. And here's our second one. Easy freaking peasy. But that's not it. You thought we were done. Done with those touches. Spray that guy with some matte varnish first. Because you don't want this glossy blood getting unglossy, getting matte. We're coming in here after spraying them with some blood for the blood god. You can use any that you want. You mix it up. But we're coming in here with our blood look. So whatever you got for blood, now's the time. Put it in all the wounds. Get them all goopy. A little goes a long way. You don't have to go crazy. I see a lot of times people go crazy. They put so much blood. You don't gotta do it. You can, but be smart about it. This is also something you can do to really customize all your little guys. They'll all be different if you put blood in different spots. Alright, here we go. Final product. Look at that guy. He's looking goopy. He's looking like a zombie. He's looking like the artwork. Pretty easy. Pretty simple. And you know what? There's only like 6 of these guys or something. There's not a lot of these guys. You bang those out and they'll all look different. This one has a Thonian camo shade for that base. And you can see he's slightly tinted green. All the steps were the same. Slightly tinted green. Looks just a little bit different on the board. Got a blue one. I love blue zombies. My zombie side zombies, blue. I love them. They remind me of George Romero zombie movies. I'm going to be doing Resident Evil zombies blue. It's crazy. I love it. And here's alternate sculpt. Check that out. Same steps, but different placement. You get it. And that's it. I hope you guys liked the video. Give it a big old thumbs up, slap all the bloops and the bleeps, and let me know if you liked it, didn't like it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know in the comments down below what you're excited for, the remaining monsters. Who do you want to see reign supreme out of what we got left? I'll probably put a poll up as we get closer, see which hero you guys want to see painted first from the core heroes. But that'll be later. This is now. We're done. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye!